breast tube. The measurements. The number one of the measurements you need is your shoulder, your bust, waist, hip, half length, blouse length, and we need our bust point, we need our nipple to nipple, and we need our underbust measurement. Yeah, that is shoulder to underbust measurement. Now, for example, we are dealing with shoulder 16. You know you divide by 2 when it comes to shoulder. Then we're dealing with bust 36, waist 32, hip 44, 42, let's go with 42. Then our half length is 17 and our blouse length 24 inches. And our bust point, let's go, bust 36 should be 10 and a half. Okay, so let's go with 10. Our nipple to nipple 8, 7 and a half, between 7 and 8, 7 and a half. Then the underbust 14. So these are the measurements. Now for the bust, we'll do an addition before division. All right. We're gonna do an addition. Sorry, we divide by 4. Sorry, our bust divide by 4, waist divide by 4, hip divide by 4. All right. Then 39 divided by 4 gives us 9. 32 divided by 4 gives us 8. 42 divided by 4 gives us 10 and I think 10 and a half. Yeah, 10 and a half. Then our half length will go by half inches. Here we'll go by 1 1/2. The bust point remains the same. No, and the underbust, everything remains the same. So when it comes to our bust, we have to add our allowance. Now, this allowance is not like ordinary allowance or maybe like your simple dart allowance. It's a bust measurement allowance. Okay, so by the bust you're going by 4, and by the waist you are going by 6. Then by the hip you still go with the 4 inches allowance. You see the difference. Okay, so when you have this, our total for the waist will give us, okay, let's go with the total sum. Now our total bust equals to 9 plus gives us 13. Our waist equals to 14, and our hip gives us 14 and a half. All right, so that is the measurement. Now you already know why we are dividing by 4, because when folding the fabrics when it's time to cut or the fabrics will fold into 4, so we divide by 4. And these are allowances. These are sewing allowance, that allowance, even the breast tube cutting allowance. That is why we have 4 here, 6 here, 4 here. So these are the measurements needed. Okay, these are the measurements. Take your time and understand it. These are the measurements needed. So the next thing is for us to draft our pattern. So the first thing first is for us to fold our fabric into 2. This is my pattern. I'm folding into 2. That is the first thing first. You fold your pattern into 2. Once you fold it into 2, then you mark your shoulder. Like according to our measurement, our shoulder is 8, so you measure from the beginning. You measure 8 from the beginning. You measure 8 from this edge that is unfolded, that is on open side. You measure 8. Then from here, you measure your armhole depth. Okay. Now your shoulder is 8. I'm equally using 8 as armhole depth, which is where you mark your bust. Then you mark your half length, which is 17.5, and your blouse, which is 27. Okay, this is the end. Now these are the basic lines. Let me connect them. These are the basic lines. It's easy. Once you're sewing a blouse, the first thing is mark out the basic line. It is very important. The basic line before any other line. Okay. Right. Now this is our shoulder. This is our bust. And this is our waist. This is our hip. These are the basic lines. So I marked my shoulder here 8. So I'll just come here and mark 8. Okay, this is 8. Then I'll connect it. I'll connect it to the shoulder. Now, another measurement we need to mark is we need to map out our bust point. Now, according to the measurement, our bust point is 10 and half. Our under bust 14 and half. Now watch out the 2 additional measurements I added. Bust point and under bust. So you connect them, mark it out. So our bust point and under bust. Alright, this one is our BP, and this is UB, which is our under bust. Now another point is our nipple to nipple. So once we have this, the next thing is our nipple to nipple. Our nipple to nipple is 7.5. So when you divide it by 2, because this fabric, this is folded into 2, okay, it will give us 3 3/4. All right, so you mark 3 3/4. You mark it straight. So I'm marking that 3 3/4 from the bust point. From the bust point. From the bust point. Watch me. From the bust point, I'm marking it down. All right, 3 3/4. Then you use your rule and connect. Use your rule and connect. All right, so this is it. This is it. Now let's go through it. Bust point on the bust. This line here. So this part is our nipple to nipple. That is the distance between your nipple breast. That is what it is. And we got 7.5. So we divide by 2, which gives us 3 3/4. All right. So that is what I measured. Okay. Now we have gotten the basics. This is how it should be. Then the next is you curve. You curve your armhole there. You curve it, all right? Now the next is we need to, this is our bust point. You need to know that. Now because it's a breast curve, it needs to curve. So when you come to this side, you mark out 2 inches. This is where it is. 2 inches. Here, 1 inches. 1 inches. Where did I mark it? Under the bust. Right under the bust. Between that nipple to nipple, the other side, you mark 2. This side, you mark 1 inches. 2 inches, 1 inches. Then you connect it from here to here. Connect it from here to here. All right, so that is it. Once you have connected it, all right, you come here, go 1/2 inches in and curve it. You can use your French curve to curve it. All right, place your French curve properly. All right, make sure it's well placed. From this point, all right, this is about 1/2 inches in. Okay, now our armhole, how do you connect it? What you do is you divide your armhole into 2. Like we have about 10, 12. So what you do from here to here, you mark 6. Our total bust measurement is 13. Okay, let's be sure of the accuracy. This is 13, all right? So you measure your armpit. Okay, gives us about 11.5. So we mark 5 3/4, okay? So you use your French curve, you place it from here. Watch what I'm placing. It's very important you place it correctly, okay? It's very important. Always try to go not completely here, but close to the under the. Then you work, you connect it straight to. You connect it, make space for your connection. What where I connected this? I connected it from here to here. This is the line I connected. This line, this line. See the line I connected? Good. So once you're done that, you come down here, mark 1 inches. Watch what I did. This is the first line. The second line is below 1 inches. You usually use your French curve. Connect it. The reason why you're connecting this is for you. The reason why you're connecting this is for you to have more. It's for you to have more curving for the breast, okay? Remember, we did 1 inches here. This is 1 inches. That is what we distance from here to here is 1 inches. Then once you have done that, all right, this is it. Then the next thing, let me not go too deep so I don't confuse you more. The next thing is to mark your waist. Our waist measurement is 14. Now, when you have that D effect, there is possibility of having D effect on this. When you do that, it's still okay. But in this case, it's not D effect. So our hip is 14.5. We mark it, then you connect. Let's see the effect we have here. It's not K effect. You know, the normal way shape should be, but it will be so after sewing because of the intake. If you watch here, we took too much. Like the total allowance taken from here is 3, so we have 3 left as our sewing allowance there. So this is it. Now this down part is very dicey. Please listen very well. If the dress you're making is a peplum dress, that is the dress stops here, stops at the half length. What you need to do is just mark the same thing you mark at the under bust, which is your 2 inches, all right, and your 1 inches. connect from here down, connect from here down. Now, if this is a peplum princess breast tube, princess that breast tube, this is where I will stop. Listen very well. If this is a princess that breast tube, peplum, that is the one that stops by the waist, this is where I will stop. All right. Now, when I stop here, I'll just cut through. But when you're sewing the blouse, you connect from here to the end. You connect from here equally to the end. Give it about half inches, total half inches space. Did you get? If it is a princess that, this is where it stops. You cut it here. But if it is a full blouse, you connect it down. All right. So this is how to cut, how your princess. Then you come to the neck, whatever you want on the neck. Let's say I'm going for 4 inches neck width. All right. I'll mark my neck width 4 inches. And you definitely you slant your shoulder by 1 inch. It is compulsory. Let's say we are going for keyhole neck, let me go for 3.5 curving. All right. Let's say we are going for a keyhole neck. So that is it. Now, up here, you extend it by half inches right at the armhole and connect it back here. Half inches and connect it back. So it's very easy to do. What you do is watch this video over and over again before you do your own practical. All right, so look at it very well. Okay, now these are the basic line: bust point, under bust, half length, which is our waist, and blouse length, which is our hip. Now, the delicate part. This is my nipple to nipple. From here to here is my nipple to nipple. From here to this line here is nipple to nipple down. Now from this line, I marked 2 to this place. From here, 2. From here, 1. I connected it to the bust point, came here, connected to the bust point. Now, at this place, I deepened by half inches, which I used my French curve to connect. Then I connected it. Now, this is the curve you need for it to be a princess that breast tube. This curve is very important. When cutting it, you must cut here. You don't cut here. This is the differentiation. This is what differentiates your curve in a princess that breast tip. If you cannot get this, you're missing it. Then at this point, I got my armhole, all right, the middle of my armhole. I connected it to this point. Okay, then I came down here. All right, marked 1 inches. From here to here is 1. I curved it down to this place. Now, the reason for this is to give this place a more curvy effect. That is the reason. If you watch the difference from here to here, you see that when I did this, he made it more curvy. Okay. Now, from here to here is half inches. The reason for this is when sewing it, so you don't shorten your armhole. That is why I did from here half inches, then connected it back to the armhole depth. And this is my neck. So this is how it is. The next thing is to cut. All right, that is the next thing, to cut it. Okay. So the next thing is for us to cut. The cutting is very necessary. You pay attention to the cutting. If you make any mistake, you have to recut, especially when it comes to this part, okay? So the first thing, we have to cut our side, okay? Cut the side first. It's done. Now, remember, if it is dress with peplon at the down or half length dress, you cut it here. But if you cut it here straight, okay, and you start cutting. But if you're sewing a full blouse, you start from here and cut. Remember, pay attention to the details. This particular, people make mistake very well when it comes to cutting, especially that point, that curving point. If you're not careful, you will make mistake. So the next thing is, watch me. You see, I'm even being careful. I'm curving it. I did not cut straight. Don't make that mistake. If for any reason you did not cut it this way, please cut again. Don't make that mistake at all. Then you cut from your armhole. When cutting it, you have to be careful, especially this part. Now you can see I've done the cutting of this. You start from here again. You cut. Be careful so you don't make mistake. You cut, okay. Now your armhole. This is your armhole, then your front. This is the front. Now you can now cut your neck. All right. Slant your shoulder. Right. So this is how I did the cutting. Okay. Now you can see this part is very curvy. You must get this. If you make mistake and cut through here, please get another fabric. Okay. It will affect how curvy it will look. So once you've done, this is how it will look. Let's place it so you see it. This is how it will look, okay? is how it will look. This is the front. If your breast curve no is not curving this way, you've not gotten it. Very important. Your breast curve needs to have this curve. That is why it's a presto princess that you can see the front, the center. So 3 pieces. All right. So that is it. How it will look. Let's give it a view. All right. Now, for you to cut the back does not have this. So it's not the same measurement you use to cut the back that you use, okay? So the back is just a simple basic blouse with a normal waist that at the back and a high back or maybe a deep back, whatever design you want at the neck, okay? But let me see if I can do that in less than 3 minutes or 1 minute or thereabout, okay? This is the back of the dress. I'm trying to make it so it will be fast so we won't have two. So this is the back lecture. I'm trying to cut it very fast because I don't want the video to be too long. So we have shoulder 16, okay? So when you're sewing your back, the first thing is you get your zip allowance, okay? Zip allowance is the first thing. This is the open side. I'm trying not because of the zip, so that is what I'm taking here. So you measure your 2 inches for the zip allowance. Okay, that is the first thing. You mark out your zip allowance. Don't make that mistake, okay? Except you're sewing a dress that does not have zip. Okay, it is very important. It is very important. So this is our zip allowance. Guys, I'm trying to be fast, okay? Now once you have done that, the next thing is to mark your shoulder. We are shoulders 8, no it's 16 divided by 2. And I'm using the same armhole 8 for my armhole depth, okay? The point where you mark your bust. And our half length is 17 and a half, okay? And this is our blouse length, which is 25, okay? So at this point, our bust is 36. We divide by 4, which gives us 8. Now your sewing allowance for the back can go with 3 or 2, all right? So plus 3 gives us 11. So here we mark 11. All right, at the waist we have 32 also. Our waist is 32 divided by 4 equals to 8 plus 3 gives us 11. So you mark it at the waist 11, right? I'm trying to be fast. Then our hip is 42 divided by 4 equals to 10 and half plus your sewing allowance of 3 inches, which gives us 13 and half. Then you connect, okay? You connect. Now this one will have that K effect. You will get K effect in this because there's no much allowance. Okay, so you get a K effect in this one. This is a shoulder which you curve. All right, curve your armhole. Now you know how to do your that already. Okay, you know how to do your that nipple to nipple. Let's say this is the bust point. You know how to sew your that already, here to here, and you sew it down. So basically, our neck width is 4. Remember we did 4. So you can go for high waist, high or maybe you want a deep V at the back. Then remember you must cut your shoulder one by one. Okay. This is it. This is actually an advanced package, okay? So if you don't know how to make this blouse, this back, without being supervised, then you're still in a beginner's course. Okay, so this is advanced. So I expect you get a picture of what I just did here and how to go about the cutting. So this is the back. Very easy, okay? So I believe you know how to cut it already. Thank you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe so when next I post a video, you'll be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you.